Hello guys, welcome to a quick altcoins update video. I know a few of you are waiting for the new context video, and I've decided to take that tomorrow. And also going to cover Bitcoin high time frame, low time frame tomorrow, plus cover the week's potential news and also cover some trading zones and good old technical analysis with some key zones in general. I'm also going to share a few tips and some exclusive videos in the group. If you want to join that, link in the description. For now, let's start with Ethereum. We had a pretty key long zone below, but we have slightly front run it, but it still remains a key zone. So if we pull back once more, looking for a long here makes sense. And to the upside, I see this flip zone as pretty important, watching for acceptance, both for a short if we see weakness and for a potential bullish scenario if we flip it to support. So right here, I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting for the key zones just explained. In Solana, we have a pretty important day level, which we have swept. But we don't really see any big reaction yet, and Sol has been pretty weak lately. But if we can hold this level, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some move up. But for now, I'm not in any trade on Solana and don't have a plan on getting in a trade there anytime very soon. Rather look at Ethereum. For Trump, the short has been played out extremely good, and I'm not really interested in any new trade there just yet, but I'm looking to bid some spot if you feel the 10 of 10 week. For now, I'm just patient. I'm waiting for more development and not doing anything as of now. On Doge, we had a plan, was pretty much to reclaim the low to push to key SNR zone. Happened, and full target plus even more hit today. Cool to see. But the key to watch now is potential acceptance above this zone. So a bullish retest of this zone. If you start trading below, you know it, then the lows are on the table again. So the bullish scenario for Doge would be to hold above here, but we have rejected a weekly VWAP for now. So that remains key resistance. But I'm not really interested in any new trade on Doge just yet. On SEC, I'm pretty much watching these zones for reactions. As you know, I trade mostly Bitcoin every day on my main accounts, my big accounts. But I love to watch some altcoins as well, and I love to scalp, and I love to trade a little bit in the weekends on my other accounts. As you all know, I'm a full-time trader, so I have some time. And when I'm not investing, when I'm not talking, when I'm not trading Bitcoin, I love to check some altcoins as well. My main focus is of course Bitcoin, but I love to watch some key zones to find trades. So on SEC, these are my key zones. On Ondo, I'm looking to bid some spot here potentially, or take a little bit long trade. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bounce on around 10%. And even a spot trade on 5-10% would be amazing. So I'm looking to see some triggers here on the key flip zone. On Pengu, we had a long trade idea. The idea was to deviate from the lower bands. As you can see here, this is the upper bands on the VWAP, and this is the lower bands on the VWAP, based on the start of a bigger move down. And the entry got hit, and full target got hit today. Extremely fun to see. I just love to see when plans are playing out after being described and planned in beforehand. I hate when people flex ideas they didn't even share beforehand just to get reactions. And I just feel that is extremely weak-minded and doesn't impress me at least. On NEAR, we are trading at a key day level in my opinion, but personally, we may bounce here, but I'm not really interested in any trade on NEAR just here. I would like to bid around $1.5. I would like to short around 2.3. Right here, I'm not in any trade, and I have no plan on getting in a trade anytime soon on NEAR. On Brett, we swept pretty much the all-time lows, so we should see a bounce. We have seen a little bit of bounce from the zone. We're struggling at the lower bands here. So if we potentially reclaim that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a move towards the flip level. And I think my bias would be to test the flip level before anything major. But I don't think, if I wasn't placed in a long round here, I just would wait to potentially test this level again or test the flip level for acceptance. On Filecoin, we had a long trade this week, played out with a TP1, but we got stopped out and for a small profit, but it didn't last very long, the trade. That just happens, and we saw this pretty nasty flush on Friday pretty much. Pretty key weak level here, but I remain flat on Fartcom for now, just based on I'm not extremely interested in it just here. On BNB, we're in this long trade. We planned this beforehand, of course. TP1 is taken, and we looked at TP2 around the weekly VWAP and potentially leave a runner towards the key SNR zone above. So not really much to do just here, just wait. On Uni, I'm watching these zones for trades. I'm not doing anything in the middle. I'm also watching these zones for 10th week fill for potentially some spot bids. I'm going to cover that a little bit more in detail tomorrow and cover a little bit some high time frame plans on spot on Ethereum, on Solana and so on, because I have some Ethereum and Solana, I have some Bitcoin. As you know, Bitcoin is a pretty key focus for me on spot and trading, of course, and also Solana and Doge and so on is things I'm focusing on. So I'm going to go a little bit into the details there tomorrow. For now, this video is pretty much done. Tomorrow we're going to cover context. Next video on context, we're going to cover Bitcoin weekly plan, key zones and news. Stay tuned for that. So pretty much have a fantastic Sunday tomorrow. I wish you all the best. Be patient, remember risk management. That's how you roll. And we keep killing it next week. See you in a minute tomorrow. Bye. Bye.